Welcome to NBC News Daily, where we start right now with the aftermath and the destruction left behind from Hurricane Milton across Florida. Right now, at least 10 people are confirmed dead. Millions do not have power, and rescue crews are underway in the water after the monster Category 3 storm made landfall near Siesta Key. Dramatic new video here on your screen shows the sheriff in Hillsborough County rescuing a 14-year-old boy from those floodwaters. You can see him there, stranded and floating on a piece of debris. In St. Petersburg, powerful winds topping 100 miles per hour shredded the roofs of Tropicana Field, the home of the Tampa Bay Rays, which was supposed to house thousands of first responders.
And a massive construction crane toppled over and came crashing down onto a building and the streets below. Milton unleashed a deadly outbreak of tornadoes from coast to coast, triggering 126 warnings, the most ever in a single day in Florida. Now take a look at this, a possible tornado ripping apart trees in St. Lucie County, where at least 4 people were killed after a tornado hit a mobile home retirement community for seniors. Throughout the day, we have been hearing from survivors across the state. Take a listen.
It's okay, Bubba. It's okay.
What I was looking at, this is all a sidewalk.
Yeah, that's a sidewalk.
So you would walk this?
You could walk that to the seawall, and right now the seawall is not there. You can't see the seawall.
I don't know what to say. It's a lot. Born and raised here, never seen nothing like this.
I think it's just cumulative, you know? It's just, you start to fill out and you get pretty overwhelmed.
The house 5 rated when the gusts really picked up. I threw up twice.
Wow.
This storm, a 1-in-1,000-year event. We are covering Milton's aftermath from all angles. Al Roker standing by to break down the hurricane's impacts. We'll go ahead and start with NBC News correspondent Priscilla Thompson, who is live in Fort Pierce, Florida. Priscilla, we know you're over on the east coast of Florida, on the other side of the peninsula there. Talk to us about what you have seen in terms of the damage and destruction and the conversations you are having with the people who live there.
Yeah, Vicki, so the big issue here was those tornadoes, those reported tornadoes that tore through here. And you can see down the street, there are piles of trees and debris on either side. Lots of people out trying to clean up their homes. And the sound of chainsaws is everywhere because people are trying to get these trees off of cars, off of homes, wherever they are right now, and to begin to clean up and really assess the damage that we're dealing with here. And just to give you a sense of the power of this storm, this little mini truck here, it's not a full-size vehicle, but completely flipped over. That is the power that we're talking about. On our way in here, we saw semi-trucks that were also just tossed like you would not believe, and that is the force that we're dealing with here. And we've spoken to residents about what they experienced, and what they said is that they were here preparing for a hurricane. And I'm actually going to move back a little bit just so we can get a little further away from the chainsaws. But they were here preparing for a hurricane, boarding up windows and that kind of thing. And then all of a sudden, yesterday afternoon, they start getting these tornado alerts back to back. And then one resident said at one point he started hearing, he felt the pressure sort of bearing down on his home. And that's when he realized, oh no, this is going to be bad. And obviously it was very bad. There were at least 4 people confirmed dead in this area, St. Lucie County, from those tornadoes. We saw dozens of them reported, dozens reported, more than 100 alerts that went out. And so a lot of devastation here, and folks just waking up in disbelief. One man told me it looks like this neighborhood is annihilated. It is night and day compared to what it looked like before all of this happened. Vicki, Morgan.
Wow. Priscilla, thank you for taking us through that. The experience there is going to last a long time for folks. Priscilla Thompson, thank you.
Al Roker joins us now here in the studio. Al, I know we talked about the potentially catastrophic 15-foot storm surge we were expecting. In the end, how high did it actually get, and where did it appear to be sort of the worst?
Well, guys, it looks like we're talking a 13-foot storm surge around Sarasota. That looked to be the worst, but there was still plenty of problems to be dealt with, including, we were talking this time yesterday, we were worried about tornadoes. Well, that that, unfortunately, that came to fruition as we take a look and we play back what happened. We ended up with 38 tornado reports across Florida. As you mentioned, 126 tornado warnings. That's the most ever issued by the Miami National Weather Service. Right now, it is moving away. It is still a Category 1 hurricane, 135 miles east-northeast of Cape Canaveral. We're going to get an update from the National Hurricane Center coming up at the top of the hour at 2 o'clock. 80-mile-per-hour winds moving northeast at 20 miles per hour. It just will continue rocketing through. By this evening, it probably will be a tropical system, or a low-pressure system, no longer a tropical storm. We are looking at those winds still pretty strong. Wind gusts of 37 miles per hour at Daytona Beach, West Palm Beach 32, Jacksonville 30-mile-per-hour winds, Orlando 25-mile-per-hour winds. It will then push away. Storm surge still going to be an issue, but less of a problem as the evening, afternoon rolls on from the southeast of Georgia all the way down to Melbourne, about 3 to 5 feet as far as storm surge is concerned, 1 to 3 feet, Savannah on up into Charleston. We still have, because of residual runoff, 8 million people at risk from Daytona Beach, Orlando, Titusville, for some flooding. Flood watches are in effect. And as far as rainfall, well, we're generally around 3 to 7 inches of rain, but the big winner, if you will, St. Petersburg, 18.3 inches. Last 24 hours, 5 inches of rain falling between 8 and 9, a 1 in 1,000 year event. Other rainfall amounts around the state, checking in St. Petersburg, as we said, 18.3 inches, 14 in Clearwater. Tampa saw 11.4. Seminole, a little more than 10 inches of rain. And as far as wind speeds, wind gusts, 107 miles per hour at Venice Beach, Egmont Channel 104, all the way to St. Petersburg at 101. So, guys, this system, again, luckily Tampa missed the brunt of the storm surge, but with all the winds, all the damage, blown out windows, we had cranes come down. This still was a very dangerous storm, but I think the big differentiator, guys, was the fact that because of Helene 13 days earlier, people who might not have left, like they didn't leave maybe in Helene, they saw what happened and they said, you know what, not sticking around, getting out of Dodge. Yeah. And that's what happened. And I think that made a big difference.
Right, in terms of the life and safety. And speaking of Helene, Al, give us some context here. Help us understand how Milton compared to Helene. Obviously, we didn't see these kinds of tornadoes. The wind speeds maybe weren't quite as strong, right?
Right. Well, the winds were perhaps a little less strong for Milton as it was for Helene. But the big difference with Helene was the inland damage that was done. When you got into North Carolina, South Carolina, even after it left the coast of Florida, it did probably more damage inland than it did along the coast. Milton was a quick mover across the state, and so we didn't see the same kind of damage, the same sort of flooding, the same sort of death and destruction, thankfully, that we didn't see with Helene.
And places where people aren't used to this kind of weather, right? The Carolinas.
That's right. North Carolina, I mean, you're talking about a big mountainous area. I mean, much of that damage was in western North Carolina, where the orographic lift exacerbated all that rainfall, and then coming down and that funneling into those valleys, that's where we saw all that death and destruction with Helene as opposed to what we saw with Milton.
Really important. Al Roker, as always, thank you so much. We really appreciate your time and, of course, your expertise.
Thank you, Al.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.